Hey guys, how much longer are we on this?
We're done, Frank. You can go. See you later.
Bye,
All
Frank.
right.
Hey, Kurt. Every time Frank starts to say something, can you stop him and then edit in those words? Never mind.
That'd be awesome.
Kurt said I need to find a quiet place, and Joe said, yes, you do.
Yeah, he does. You're right. The whole house can hear him.
Who invited her to our meeting anyway?
Nobody. She just shows up. That's my life. This is what I live with.
I look just a hair evil.
That's exactly what was said.
Okay, let's
Awesome.
take a vote. Who wants Shane's idiot math left in the podcast? Raise your hand. 4 against 1. Hey, it's out of my hands.
Kurt is great. Kurt is awesome. Kurt does a good job. I love Kurt. Kurt is awesome. He is the man. Kurt is good.
I don't know.
At a 45-minute time.
Hey, Alexa, cancel that request. Oh.
You guys need some aloe vera from that burn you just got?
Can
So
we
are
do?
we got our introductions?
Can we do?
Yeah,
Can
I
we
thought
sure.
do?
we were done.
Well,
All
this
right,
is
let's.
quality.
If everybody will shut up for a second, we can do introductions and we can start this show, this circus. We are some high school, let's just say acquaintances, because friends is a little too close. We knew each other in high school, let's say that.
That's
Yeah.
the truth.
We still know each other. What is Joe? You want to say something? I can tell. You're holding back. We started this Zoom meeting almost a year ago, probably.
Hold on,
when,
Kurt.
Yeah.
Some of you guys started this Zoom meeting a year ago. I've been here like 2 months.
You say-
And that's just because someone gave you the password.
and I haven't figured out how to change it. We started this Zoom meeting to keep from getting cabin fever in the midst of our global pandemic, and it was so much fun. We just kept going and going and going, and now nobody can stop us. We had so much fun, we decided to record it and share it with the world, even if the world doesn't care. So
Which we're sure they don't.
we talk about dumb stuff, and we have 20 listeners so far, which is pretty great. So my name is Kurt, and we're each going to introduce ourselves, just first name only, and then we're each going to say, if you could live anywhere in the world for an entire year, where would you live and why? So I thought about that, and I mean, places like Hawaii would be cool, or fun vacation places. But actually, the more I thought of it, I would really get a lot out of living where my grandfather grew up, out in the country in Southeast Germany. I had a chance to visit there a couple years ago, and I was able to spend. I only had a couple days to spend, but I saw a lot of the area. I saw the house that my grandfather grew up in. I didn't have the nerve to talk to the people and see if they would let me see the inside. But I think if I was able to live there for a year, I would really get deep into my grandfather's life and my heritage. And I think that would be pretty cool. Who wants to go next?
I think this is Mick, by the way. We had a foreign exchange student a couple years back. I guess it's been about 4 years now. And she was the most relaxed, had a great attitude about life, and she's from Denmark. And so I think I would like to take a look at living in Denmark for a year just to see what that's like.
Are you sure it wasn't the drugs she was on? No, I've heard good things about Denmark.
That's where I'd go.
Frank, you're next.
I'm next. Okay, my name is Frank. Some people call me Frankie. And let's see, I've traveled to several places in the tropics and overseas. but there's this little town with a Casey's and a Dollar General named Illinois.
No, I refuse to put that in the podcast.
This is why we can't have nice things.
So if
Thanks,
I could live
Frankie.
there for a year,
Pick a different country.
are you gonna make me go again?
Yes. No, I'm gonna
yes.
make Shane go next, and you need to think
Okay.
about what you've done, young man.
This is why you're only invited for 2 months.
That's right.
My name is Shane. I'd like to live like in Thailand or the Philippines or something like that. I know it's poor, but I've been there and it was pretty fun.
Have you?
You had a good time
Last-
being poor. Good.
No, I mean, I had money when I was there. I was the rich
Oh.
guy with the $100
Oh.
bill.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's just
What
beautiful. The
could you-
beaches are nice and all that stuff.
What can you do with a $100 bill over in Thailand?
Probably live for a month easily. I think you can get when I was there, I think you could get a hotel room for a week for 25 American dollars. The whole week, 7 days in a hotel room. Food was cheap, drinks were cheap, everything you bought, souvenirs were cheap.
I've heard good things about Thailand. My wife actually spent a week there last year with her
Is
best
that
friend.
where she went?
was-
I knew she went
yeah.
somewhere over there. Yeah.
She enjoyed it.
I think I told my wife when I was over there, I think I saw a Komodo dragon because I saw it run across the street. It looked like a dog. So I couldn't
Were there
really tell what it
Komodo
was.
grills too?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't even know why I laughed at that.
I don't either. It was his face that made me laugh.
And that's not going to come through on the podcast.
All right, I'm going to hand it off to Joe.
So yeah, this is Joe. I have two extremes of places where I think I would like to live for a year. One would be just somewhere in the tropics. I know when I took the Caribbean cruise with the Kurt family, I really liked Grand Cayman Island. That was really cool. Hawaii would be great, although I'm assuming that we have like unlimited resources to live in one of these places because I've heard Hawaii is so expensive. People work 7 days a week to live there. The other option would be to live somewhere in a mountain cabin, on a lake in the mountains. I love the serenity of that. Sometimes when I'm working from home, I'll turn on the TV and I'll turn on YouTube and I'll put on nature scenes, relaxing nature scenes, and it'll be like 12-hour drone videos of mountains and lakes and ocean, and it's just peaceful. But the mountain scenes are awesome. But I think I would hate the winters.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even though it'd be peaceful, I think I would hate the winters. But
And my second would have been like I was after watching Yellowstone to live someplace like that.
yeah,
Mhm.
But
That'd
you'd
be
have
awesome.
you'd have to be able to have the horses and and everything. So
Become a full-blown cowboy.
it'd be cool to be like you guys all saw Stephen King's movie Misery. Frank, you might be able to rent that on VHS. Still. Yeah.
I've not seen that.
So the main character is a guy who's a writer, and he goes to the mountains, to a cabin in the mountains to write his book. So that would be kind of cool to just say, I'm going to isolate, I'm going to drive to a mountain cabin. I'm going to spend the next, year there writing my book, within driving distance to a
no
town.
internet, no distractions.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. My sister spent a number of years living in the mountains of Colorado, and we went out there, visited several times while they were there, and it's pretty great, hiking and just the atmosphere. The winter was kind of miserable. They would get snowed in, and
Well, my mother-in-law has a cabin on a lake in Idaho, and I love it there. It's one of my favorite places in the world. I'd love to go there, but again, winters would be miserable. And
hmm I've always thought that living in the mountains for the summer and then in Florida or someplace tropical for the winter would be the ideal retirement gig.
yeah, the snowy mountains are beautiful. I mean, I love being in the mountains in the snow. That's, I live near the mountains. You can go
Hey,
up
Well,
skiing,
you
but
could overlap
get
them a
stuck
little
there.
bit.
Yeah.
Kurt, do you know that you live in Florida already?
Do I?
Yeah.
I don't like it in the summer. All right, Frank's turn.
My name is Frank, and I'm like with you, Joe. I would like to probably just find some cabin and isolate for a
Nope,
year.
that one's taken. Come up with a new one.
You guys are killing me.
Jeez.
Just
You
say a
want- you
nude
want-
piece. A nude piece
Okay,
somewhere.
my name is Frank.
I think
And
Frank
I would
would
like-
like to live in Washington, D.C., close to the
No.
Capitol.
No, that's funny.
Yeah, that would
No.
be a good one for you, Frank.
Oh, I know where I want to live.
Where?
Okay, my name is Frank. Sometimes I go by Frankie. I think if I could live for a year, I'd like to live in Mar-a-Lago.
Is that
Oh,
where? Is
yeah.
that Trump's place?
Yes, in Palm Beach, Florida.
Would you tent camp on his front lawn, or do you think he'd let you in?
I don't know. I mean, I'd wash his cars and helicopter.
Would you shake his tiny hands every day you saw him?
Yes, I would.
Not just
Or at
his
least give
hands.
him a tiny high five?
That's funny.
What do you think he's going to do now that he's not president?
He
Spend some
started
time
the
in jail.
office of the former president. He did.
Did he really?
Yes.
What's he going to do, you think?
I
Stay
hope
He's
in
going to
politics
continue
somehow?
he's going to continue
Continue
the
his
public's
reign?
agenda. Yes.
Oh,
In the
wow.
office.
That sounds made up. Is that real?
So I think he'll create the the Patriot Party,
Oh,
Oh,
think
a
he'll-
third party.
a third party.
Okay. That would fix the 50-50 divide of our country that we have, wouldn't it? It would
No,
split
it'd
it
make it-
30,
it'd
30,
make it-
30.
It'd make it 50, 25, 25 is what it would do.
Yeah, you might be
Yeah.
right.
So that's why he
Yeah.
needs to be
That would not work.
impeached. So he won't be able to get another elected official office again. Because if they impeach him, I think that's the case.
Yeah, but
I
they're
wondered
not-
why they
that's what
were
I heard.
still. I wondered why they were still pursuing that, but that makes sense.
It won't happen though, because you're not going to get 2/3 of the Senate to go along with it.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're going to go through the motions just to make a point.
Yeah, there was a lot of senators that put forth like a term limit law or something, which has been done about every year. But that'd be
Mhm.
great if you could do
get
term
that passed,
limits.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd
Then
be awesome.
Just like the president.
Nobody would want to do it then because they would know, oh, I can only be here 8 years and then I got to find another job.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just to be fair, back when the country was founded, all the congressmen and senators had other jobs.
They
Yeah.
did. And they did this as a volunteer type thing to
Yeah.
serve their country. They
Well,
didn't
that
do it to
wouldn't
get
work
rich and fat
nowadays.
like now.
That's how it
Career
is at the state
politicians.
level. I never thought about that at the
Yeah.
So, Here's a stretch, though, that Senator Patrick Leahy is going to preside over the impeachment trials.
Mhm.
And he has been in 4 movies, superhero movies, and they were all Batman movies. He's a huge Batman fan.
he was in them like as an
He
extra.
was in them, yes.
Whoa.
He was
Okay.
the one they showed was when it was the one with Heath Ledger, and Heath Ledger was in his face just screaming at him, and he said he was scared to death.
Huh. Respect.
neat.
Yep.
That's
Wow.
cool. Everybody's got to have a fun hobby.
Yep.
I respect that one. Anybody watch any good TV this week?
Actually, he's
Fargo.
in 5 Bat movies. You watch Fargo?
Yeah. Through 2 seasons, and it is well written the way they put it all together.
Yes, it is.
what- Mick said.
I don't understand the spaceships, so don't tell me.
Don't even. Okay.
I'm gonna watch it. That's
I
Hey,
like
Shane,
I
to get
really
us
like
to
the
watch it.
second season better. I like Kirsten Dunst and her husband in that. I think that was great.
Is her husband famous? That's the second
Yeah.
time you've.
Yes. But the two of them, how
Mr.
they act in
Dunst?
that, it's great. It
He
is.
wouldn't have her last name, would he? I don't know who she married. She married some actor.
You'd recognize him when you see it if you look it
Yeah.
up. Just type it in.
He's a
What's his name?
secondary type actor. I don't know.
Oh, not a main.
Yeah, he's always like upper supporting or
Okay.
something like that. Yeah, the shows are well written. They're just put together.
So
perfect.
give us a high level. What is the plot of the show?
There's a murder that happens, and then everybody in the show somehow almost gets connected to it.
Yep.
So it's
It's
neat.
just-
It's only
And
10
then
episodes.
people
that's what
die
makes
on
you
the
say
way.
It's so well written because
Did you
of
say
all
it's
the
only 10
because
episodes?
of all the
It's
connections.
10 episodes per season,
Oh, per
Yeah.
season.
and all 10 of those are, like X gets murdered in one, and then that all 10 episodes is about X being murdered, but everything blends together.
So
It
how
is
many
written-
seasons
Wait,
are
the
there?
whole season is about one murder?
Yeah.
There's
Wow.
4 seasons.
Yeah,
4 seasons.
It's really good. It's just the way it's put together is amazing.
Interesting.
I guess if I was unemployed, I could watch it all.
Yeah,
No, you couldn't
Boy.
afford it, Frank. It's on Hulu.
That's true.
Wait, the kid that you're skimping Disney Plus off of, did they also
Didn't they do the bundle?
splurge for the
They could have done the
Hulu
bundle.
ESPN
I think they
bundle?
might have.
Well, there you go. Yep.
Don't you also have a subscription to HBO Max so your little kids can watch Sesame Street?
When Sesame Street airs on HBO Max, do they have curse words
Yeah, is
in
it
their
like
shows?
R-rated?
Do they show
No.
nudity in the Sesame Street on
No.
HBO Max? Why is it on HBO Max?
I think they own Sesame Street or something. The rights to it.
owns
'Cause it's on
Sesame Street.
HBO.
They bought it.
That's ridiculous that you can't watch Sesame Street unless you pay for HBO.
You can't watch any of the Charlie Brown things now because Apple bought them and put them on Apple TV. Charlie Brown's Christmas and the Great Pumpkin are not on TV anymore.
Interesting.
That was a staple for us growing up, was Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving and
Uh-huh.
the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. I mean, that's something you look forward to every year.
Uh-huh.
Ryan Reynolds used to be on Sesame Street. Okay.
What?
He was the letter A. So his face was the part
Can
of
you
there.
say-
He'd come in the A. What did he says? I remember how challenging it was to sing because the A-hole was so tight, but I pushed through because kids all over the country were counting on me.
It's awesome.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
So that's why it's on HBO Max now, Kurt.
Yes,
'Cause of the A-hole.
exactly. Because of the A-hole.
Anybody watch WandaVision?
No.
I tried.
That's on my list.
I'm watching it. I'm so confused, and it's really, really weird.
I don't know anything about those characters, so I didn't even put it on my queue.
You know, Vision.
Yeah.
I saw him in Endgame or whatever the last Marvel movie was, but I didn't know who they were or what their backstory was.
He's
He was made in the Age of Ultron movie.
Yes.
Age of Ultron. What movie is that? Which
Event-
superhero
that's
character?
That's the second
Second
Avengers
Avengers.
movie, where Iron Man and Bruce Banner build a robot to protect the Earth, and they use Iron Man's his voice, the guy that talks to
Jarvis.
him, Jarvis, and in the process they also build Vision,
Yes.
and they put one of the Infinity Stones in him, and so he comes alive.
I don't remember missing a big Avengers movie, but I must have because none of that rings a bell.
Hmm.
I must have been frustrated at the Marvel universe at the time.
I don't know if her name's Wanda, the one in the thing, but she was a bad
Yeah.
person to begin
Wanda.
with
Yes, she was.
until her
Yes.
brother died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of Marvel movies, and I've liked a lot of them, and I've been frustrated with a lot of them
Wow.
because it seems like they're just a movie factory and they're just in it for the money. And
And
so
yet you like Star
that's
Wars.
that's my love-hate relationship. I don't like episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, those are pretty bad. I tried to watch them the other day after watching the Clone Wars. It's like, oh my gosh. But
You tried to watch 1, 2, and 3 the other day?
well, one of them. That one's like the other. Don't matter. It's bad. Same bad acting.
It's bad acting. Horrible.
I can't
acting.
believe
Horrible
you'd even
scripting.
try. That's funny.
Yeah.
I learned something new today
I don't
that you
get it.
guys may or may not have known. Do you guys know the actress Keira Knightley? She was in
Pirates of the
the
Caribbean movies. Mhm.
She was in episode 1 of Star Wars. She was Padme's double. You know, the one who wore the makeup and pretended
really?
to be the queen. That was Keira Knightley. And
Huh,
even when I
wow.
look at photos of them, of her, I can't see it.
Huh.
And I read something today that said when they were wearing that makeup, their mothers couldn't even tell them apart.
That's funny.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
We almost put Frank to sleep talking about Star Wars. Look at him.
We're not done yet either, though. Hey, so something else, Joe. I tried to watch a couple of the Rebels,
Yeah.
and what gets me is the clones are super smart, super great, but when they get into the Rebels, they are complete idiots, and they can barely walk.
The robots, you mean?
Oh, the clones.
The clones, the
clones,
stormtroopers.
yes.
When they turn into
Yeah.
stormtroopers, they're idiots.
What I don't think you realize is the stormtroopers in Rebels are not clones. Those are
Okay.
humans that have been trained.
Oh,
And
okay.
there's an academy where they go to get their training, because after the Clone Wars, the clones were decommissioned. Yeah.
There's no story to that, though, is there?
No,
I
but
guess
they talk about it. No, there's no story, but
Okay.
Wait, they sent them to
then
the academy
be
to train
stupid.
them how to miss hitting what they're shooting at.
yes, Kurt,
Yes.
that's what they're training them to do.
Perfect.
I want a shirt. I'm going to make a shirt that says, "What happened to Rex?" That's what I want to know.
Mick, he's in Rebels. He's in Rebels. You need to watch
Okay.
more Rebels.
Okay.
Rebels isn't as good as the Clone War, but it's good. They fill in further gaps in the Star Wars story.
Frank,
Yes.
you want to say something?
I do, but you
No
guys will get
complaining.
mad. Okay, never
complaining.
mind. Never mind.
Frank, what are you watching?
Nothing right now. I'm
What have you,
Sometimes
what
it-
have you watched in the last
Some
week?
sometimes he can't get stream, so he goes out and watches his farm animals do it.
How do you know, Joe? How did you know? That's funny.
So Kurt, the boys and I were talking this week about your editing, and kind of what we were talking about. It's you had told us several weeks ago that if we wanted to get our listener numbers increased, we should be a little bit more trashy. You guys remember him saying that, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
A little more smut.
Raunchy?
I think the word he used was smut. And since that time, we've increased the smut.
And you've deleted it.
Well, Mick talked a lot about his bizarre practices, and he was sharing some of the details. And let's see, Shane gave us it was almost a TED talk on how to do a Ukrainian truck pull. And we talked about that time Frank got arrested for indecent exposure at a nude beach, which none of us thought was possible. And yet you have edited all of that out of the podcast. So I'm just wondering, if our target audience is lonely housewives, why are you editing all of this stuff out?
Now,
He makes a good
You're
point.
right. I'll do better.
at the end of our last podcast, we said who our target audience is, and it is us
It's
five.
us five.
We are
As
Well,
not-
lo-
again, why are you editing that stuff out?
as
You
long
gotta
as
make me
we're
listen.
as long as we're enjoying it, that's all that matters.
Oh, good golly.
Joe, I doubt that what you just said will make it into the next podcast.
I hope
That's
it
all.
does. I really
doubt
hope
it.
it does.
I've already cut it in my
I've been
imagination.
thinking that through all day long.
That was good.
Does anybody want to talk how they're doing on their diets? I gained a pound last week, but I'm not surprised by that because I wasn't using the app. And when I don't use the app, I get lazy and I cheat.
I have lost 4. I stepped on the scale yesterday, and I had lost
Wow.
4.
Nice.
And it's
Good.
really the only difference thing I'm doing is pounding the Metamucil. Doing
That would do it.
Two
Oh my
tablespoons.
gosh.
2 tablespoons in the morning and 2 tablespoons in the evening,
Well,
and
We're-
that makes a big difference in life.
we're gonna need another reading after that levels off. That's like the when you first start a diet, you lose all the water weight and it doesn't really count.
Joe,
You're losing all
you're
your
like
poop
Joe.
weight that you've been
You're
hanging
like-
on to, Mick.
you're
in
like
your
Joe,
first
and you
week.
eat a bunch the day before.
6 hours ago, we heard from iHeartRadio and they reviewed our podcast and we made the cut. We are
Ooh.
now streaming on iHeartRadio.
That was
That
our
took
email?
a long time because I sent them the request like a month ago. So they don't have an automated system. They literally have people assigned to listen to this stuff. So can you believe we made that cut?
So we got another listener.
Probably one more. Yeah.
Well,
I love iHeartRadio. I should get more listeners, see?
Yeah, we love our iHeartRadio. We actually had a listener email last week.
We did?
On.
We have a listener mail from my Florida friend whose name is Sally. This is not our high school friend, Sally. This is a Sally that you guys have not met. She listened to episodes 4 and 5, and she wrote an entire page worth of feedback. Not like an angry email. Like she's very positive with her feedback.
we're not letting her into the podcast.
Okay, duly noted. In episode 4, we talked about weighing yourself no more than weekly, and she points out that weighing yourself daily is better psychologically. What are your thoughts? I kind of see some value in weighing yourself every day. It keeps it in your mind, but part of me says there's so much noise in your weight that you need to limit how often you weigh yourself.
That's why I'm telling you, I go give the plasma. I got to get weighed every time, and mine's fluctuating so bad. It's within 2 to 3 pounds almost, and I go twice a week.
They weigh
Whoa,
you for the
They're
plasma?
pulling 2 to 3 pounds of plasma out of your body?
No,
Holy
I have
crap.
to, like today, Kurt, I couldn't give it because I had a few beers during the football games yesterday, which thins your alcohol or takes liquid water out of your system. So today, one of mine didn't measure up. She goes, "You can't give plasma today."
Interesting. You were too thin, or you were too thick.
But she said you probably had too much caffeine or too much
That's-
alcohol. And I get weighed, Kurt. I have my temperature checked, my blood pressure.
Do you get a rectal exam?
I ask for that. They don't do it yet. I put that on
Keep
their notes
asking.
and the comment cards.
Keep asking. You'll get your way one of these days. So she says weigh in the morning because it's a better reminder through the day of your weight loss goals. I definitely agree with weigh in the morning for more than just psychological reasons. There's that's when you weigh the least.
Yeah.
After the
Right.
whole evening of processing the stuff, especially after you go poop.
I would comment though that you can just as well keep your weight loss goals in mind if you're tracking through an app with everything you eat.
Mm-hmm.
That accomplishes the same thing.
She says that the experts used to say to weigh once a week so that you don't beat yourself up. But she says that the experts have changed their mind. So I don't know.
Weight
It's
Watchers
probably on the
has
internet
not.
somewhere.
Weight
They
Watchers
say
is
once a
still
week.
doing a once a week weigh.
So some of those programs go even further than that. My wife was on a program last year to lose weight and to exercise and increase fitness and health.
She looks good.
Thank you. Her program does not let them weigh themselves. They do it at the beginning, and then after the 6-week program is over, you can weigh yourself. But the part of that program is you're not focusing on your weight, because you can get fit and your weight not change. And if you're focusing on your weight, then you're going to get frustrated.
Yep.
So psychologically, for a program like that, where you're gaining muscle and you're gaining fitness and overall health, it's actually works against you to weigh yourself. What they do is they measure, their
your
waist and their belly and their arms and their thighs. They weigh each week. They show that they're getting fitter in those areas, in those measurements, but they don't go by weight at all. And I thought that was pretty amazing.
We talked before about the new scales.
Yes.
So I have a scale. This is the app that goes with it. So I get on the scale and it sends the data that it records to my app. And it actually has sensors on it that sends some kind of current to measure things besides just your weight.
Bioimpedance. Yeah.
Yes. And it's pretty fascinating because I can track my weight.
Is it Renfo?
Yes, it is. BMI, body fat, fat-free body weight, subcutaneous fat, visceral fat, skeletal muscle, muscle mass, bone mass, protein, and BMR, whatever that is. And
Basal metabolic rate.
And metabolic age. So
wow.
It tracks all of those things. and it shows, you guys can't see it, but it graphs them for me over time.
So what's the name of the scale? I might look into getting one of these.
Renfo?
RENPHO, Renfo. It's on Amazon. It was not expensive.
That's surprising. I thought it
I
would
mean,
be hundreds of dollars for all
Oh
that.
no.
And the app
comes
is free?
with it. Yeah, it's $30 and it's 135,000 reviews and 4.5 stars. So I think it's a great scale.
I say
Holy
that every
cow,
time.
that's a lot of reviews.
Yeah.
That's a popular scale right there.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's kind of one of the things where, yeah, you don't necessarily want to have your weight all the time, but some of that other information's helpful. You know,
Yeah.
your subcutaneous fat or visceral fat, and I have no idea what the difference between those two are, but
Visceral
could look
fat
it
is
up.
the stuff needed that's around the organs. That's like the minimum amount that you need. The visceral stuff is.
so you when you're losing fat, you don't want to lose visceral fat. You want
Right.
to
It's
lose
subcutaneous.
Okay. See, and it would be interesting, you know, as I'm working out, I'm trying to kind of increase, find more of a balance between running, which I do a lot of, and other types of workouts to try to build some level of muscle.
All right.
Oh,
Going back to the listener mail, she talks about how in episode 5 we talked about whether to pay for college for your kids or not.
okay.
She says no. That's a terrible idea. Make them work at least part-time through college. If you make college too fun, you run the risk of them not buckling down and getting to business, which I agree with. But you know, different kids have different personalities, so there's not one right answer. The right answer depends on the
The kid.
The
personality
child.
of the child. She kind of says that. Her next sentence says time, effort, and maturity all play a part, and I'm focused on maturity. Some kids can handle it and some kids can't. She brings up a good point that we didn't talk about because none of us really went there. Well, Frank did. She says the military is a great way to grow them up and get training and college/skills money. Well, her last point is great too. We didn't talk about this at all. Some kids do much better with an apprenticeship or a certificate in a skill and going right into the work field more quickly than going to college. And this is what Dirty Jobs guy Mike Rowe is passionate about. We send too many kids to college when they don't end up using that degree and they aren't suited for it anyhow, which I agree with.
There's a huge number of people that qualify for federal loans or for loans, and they only go to college because they got the loan, and then they don't like college and they drop out, and a lot of unpaid loan debt because of the people that don't finish college to start. And those are probably the people that should be going first into a trade.
There's going to be so many
trade.
trades that don't have enough people, like plumbers, electricians. Just people aren't doing that anymore.
Thanks, Sally. Thanks
Except
for
we're
writing
not
us.
Yeah. Thank you, Sally.
Yes.
She's never
thank you.
she's
We're
never
not
going to listen to
dismissing-
another episode.
Well,
We're
this
not
one
dismissing
this
you,
one sounds
Sally.
so far this one sounds like a dud. So we may lose
Sure.
all of our listeners after this one. All 20 of them.
We're not,
Even the iHeartRadio
Sally,
guy.
we're not dismissing you.
Well,
We're dismissing Kurt's version of you. Now, let's face it, Kurt did not
Yes.
he did not play a good Sally in that role. Let's have
So-
Frank read the email so we'll actually want to listen to him.
oh, good gosh.
Yeah,
But
I
I
want to have
gotta
Frank say
go.
goodbye. Okay, bye, Frank.
All right. See you guys.
Bye, Frank.
Bye,
Bye.
Frank.
See you next
Bye.
See
week.
ya.
Enjoy your dinner.
He's so undedicated. If he's not going to commit, we cut him.
We
Change the
cut, him
password, Kurt.
we cut him deep too, Kurt.
Change
Cut
the
him deep.
password.
Change the password. We're cutting him. If he can't be dedicated,
Joe, I'm the new godfather. I decide who gets cut and who doesn't.
good point.
All right. Who wants to take us out, sign us out this week?
Mick.
Tell the listeners thanks for listening and tell
Well,
them what our email address is.
Okay. Well, we'd like to thank everybody for listening today. This is Kurt, Joe, Shane, and Mick signing off. Frank left a little early, but if you have any comments, please email us at talkaboutdumbstuff@gmail.com.
That was
Not
great.
bad, Mick. That's pretty good.
Good
Really,
job.
that's a good
Mick.
voice.
You like that?
That's a
You
great
could
radio
do
voice. Why don't
radio.
you always talk that way? Well, thanks for
Yep.
listening. See you next
Thanks,
time.
Yeah.
Guys, I had a
Yeah.
good time.
All right.
Yep, always a good time. Take it easy, guys. I love you.
All right, love you too.
All
Have a
right,
good
Good
buddy.
night,
night.
guys.
All right.
Bye.
I'm leaving.